Hello, my name is Austin Shadle, and welcome back to the Life Endurance Podcast, where we explore methods of unlocking your true potential in the greatest endurance race we all partake in, life. How do you make life feel easier? How do you reduce how much stress you feel? Make it so when a curveball hits you, you're not even fazed. The answer? Go out of your way to do difficult things. Our body adapts in more ways than we can imagine, both physically and mentally. And because of that, everything is relative. Two different people will have two different reactions to any given scenario. And depending on what they are adapted to, those reactions can be extremely different. Consider someone who comes from an extremely difficult and traumatic past. They had to fight tooth and nail to get where they are today. Compared to their past experiences, minor inconveniences such as spilling your coffee, road rage, or fires to put out at work, or even threatening encounters with other people, probably don't faze them. They have adapted to difficult circumstances and can stay composed when inconveniences and problems come their way. As a polar opposite, for example, we've all seen videos online and likely experienced in real life people completely overreacting to minor inconveniences, codename Karens on the internet. Their body and mind register these as massive problems. So here's where purposefully doing difficult things comes into play. First, consider how you even get good at a job or a hobby. You start at the bottom and fail over and over until you succeed and progress. By the end, what used to be difficult is now easy. When I started playing guitar, basic chords were difficult. My finger muscles and muscle memory were not developed. Now playing those same chords is simply a reflex. My body adapted, and what I considered difficult or even stressful no longer is. At my first field management job, I used to have to sort through roughly 100 pages of handwritten reports to create a condensed report every morning before our morning meeting, and approve payroll for over 100 people before lunchtime. At the beginning, it was one of the most stressful job tasks I've ever had. A few months later, it was simply routine and rarely stressed me out. When I was in middle school, I was that wheezy kid finishing the 1500 meter race in last place at track meets. Now a 3-mile run is a warm-up for me, and the idea of running 10 miles up a snow-covered mountain doesn't even faze me. I've pushed my body to such extremes that you're rarely going to ever hear me complain about something physical in day-to-day life. I can stay calm in intense work situations because of my past work experience. If you choose of your own will to enter a difficult scenario or attempt a difficult task, it will feel more in your control because you chose this, not the world surprising you with a challenge. But it is still a struggle, and you use that struggle to adapt your body. We want to create self-inflicted struggle, so when those unexpected inconveniences hit, they feel small in comparison. Your body and mind are adapted. Your reactions will be more controlled and calm. Successful salesmen will say part of why they are so good now is because they put themselves through so much rejection that it doesn't faze them anymore. And because of that, they can approach a sale far more calmly and confidently. Their mind isn't a tornado of nervous thoughts. They can use all of their bandwidth connecting with the customer and handling objections. An experienced soldier or police officer can stay calm and collected when facing an intense situation, whereas one who's in the field for the first time is much more likely to freeze up or make a mistake, which is the reason why special forces training, for example, is so intense and demanding. If you survive Hell Week and become a Navy SEAL, jumping out of a boat into freezing water with a full set of gear is no factor. So I want you to reflect now. Do you notice a pattern of poor reactions to challenges the world throws at you? Do you struggle to take action in response, causing the situation to be worse? Do you struggle to take action on something you've been meaning to do? Like taking the initiative to explore moving somewhere you know would be a better fit for you, not being able to fight against what feels normal. Are you too hesitant to approach that cute girl or boy you have a crush on and are too afraid of rejection? Are you too afraid to try a new hobby in fear that you will embarrass yourself? These are signs you need to implement more self-inflicted difficult scenarios. Go force yourself to try an activity you're terrible at, over and over, despite how unpleasant it may feel in the moment. Push yourself to approach anyone you might be interested in, or even find a completely different reason to approach people. Build up a callus for being rejected. If given the opportunity at work, take on a stressful task. Doing difficult things is how we grow, but also how we control what really stresses us out. So take some time today and make a list of difficult and intimidating things you can start doing right now. And I know by the very nature of it, it is intimidating, but think about how it feels to be constantly stressed by literally everything going on in life. Even though in the grand scheme of things really aren't that bad. It's not a good feeling, and that's under your control. Do hard shit and watch how much easier life will feel. That wraps it up for today. No one is saying life is easy, but we can invest in ourselves and push our limits. We can redefine what stress really means. If you found value in this episode, please take 30 seconds and share it. If I can even make a small positive impact on someone's life, this podcast and all the effort is worth it. Give me a follow on Instagram at TheEnduranceBeast to learn more about how I push myself to do hard things. And as always, I look forward to sharing the next episode.